Race 5 of 6 in our 6-race IndyCar Championship. WinterIndy now on the back 9 on the home stretch after today. Race 5, that semifinal, if you will, brings the cars to the Circuit of the Americas for 61 miles of racing. Noah Belleville, the points leader, coming into today's semifinal, sits ahead of Bryce Saucier, trying to get a good launch into the first corner. 18 laps is all they have to make the best of this extremely long racetrack. This might even be the first time we've ever, Rick James TV has ever done a race here. Let's see what happens. I'm excited, and I hope you are too. WinterIndy Race 5 is green.
Green flag, green flag.
Noah Belleville running away with the race lead just a little bit, and here comes Aaron Edwards to the inside of Bryce Saucier through the hairpin. Edwards gets away with the second position, and it's an extremely long run down to turn number 12. Noah Belleville leads Aaron Edwards by 2 seconds, headed into the hairpin corner. And the 41, there he is, crossing right in front of the frame. He's got that 2-second gap to Aaron Edwards. Toby Estes, Bryce Saucier now side by side, headed into the arena. And Aaron Edwards goes around. Bryce Saucier also goes around. There's Aaron Edwards now trying to make some sense of that. Bryce Saucier gets a move on. Edwards behind him. They will fight for the 6th position now. Edwards in 6th, Saucier in 7th, Noah Belleville 4 seconds ahead of Toby Estes, and he's giving it the Max Verstappen treatment. He says he is out of here. Bren Roberts in 3rd, Nick Pressey in the 4th position, now trying to chase down his teammate. Let's go on board with Nick. And the Brooklyn pilot chasing down the 84. This is the bronze medal position on the line. Bryce Saucier half a second behind Aaron Edwards, now trying to use that toe into the hairpin. Go back and see what happened on lap number 1. Aaron Edwards right here in turns 14 and 15 goes for a big spill. Well, that's not the best angle in the world there. Let's see if we can get a better look. Oh, he just loses control of the race car. Wow. It's impressive that Bryce Saucier didn't get into him, but then Bryce goes for a spin of his own. Have another look. Gives it a shake. And Bryce Saucier then does the exact same thing as Toby Estes, sneaks on by. And Aaron Edwards now in a battle with Colin McDonough and Nicholas Pressey. Bryce Saucier close behind. Let's go on board with Aaron. Uh-oh, contact. Nick Pressey, Aaron Edwards getting into it. Out of the hairpin. Was there contact between the two? Let's have a look. No, this is Colin McDonough and Bryce Saucier. What happens here? Have a look. This is McDonough on the outside. Oh, the 94, the 39. Everybody goes for a spin. And we're going to go ahead and throw the yellow flag here. Toby Estes, 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds behind Noah Belleville. Bren Roberts in third. Aaron Edwards in fourth. Bryce Saucier in fifth. Colin McDonough in sixth. Aaron Edwards in the seventh position. Who's missing a piece of his race car. Nick Pressey missing the other piece of his wing. Which on a track where you're making more left turns, you'd probably want that piece of your race car. In any case, they'll be able to come down into the pits. Toby Estes has caught the pace car. Noah Belleville will... He's blinking out of control, but trying to get back up to the pace car here. Belleville in the lead, Toby Estes in second, Bren Roberts in third. And the drivers will slowly parade around the race course. That'll give us a chance to take a break. This caution lap is going to be long enough that these drivers are going to have plenty of time around the racetrack. So let's do this. We're going to take a 2-minute break, get some of these pre-rolls out of here, and we'll be back for more IndyCar racing. This is race 5 of 6, the semifinal of Winter Indy. Noah Belleville leads the points by just 3 markers. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more. back at COTA. Everyone is into the pits right now. Noah Belleville was leading the race. We'll see if he's leading coming out of the pits. We'll see just who comes out of the pits there. Oh, lost it for a second. And it's Belleville. Estes Roberts running 1, 2, 3. And we're going to get the green flag this time by. So Noah Belleville in control of the race thus far. Toby Estes right behind him, and I hope Landon's watching. Landon, a big fan of the Bluegrass Bandits. Going green this time by. Let's talk to one of those Bluegrass Bandits, Toby Estes, sitting in the second position. Let's bother this man real quick. Toby, Rick James in the house. This being the third season of Winter Indy, you really have taken a shine to these cars, man. Are they growing on you?
Yeah, they're definitely growing on me. They're pretty fun.
You now sit yourself behind Noah Belleville, who is leading the points by 3 digits. I don't even know where you sit in the points. Let me take a look. You are tied for 6th, actually, with Colin McDonough, 16 points apiece. And you're 2 points behind Tommy Withers, who's not even in this race. So you're definitely going to get into the top 5 before the end of this race. And Aaron Edwards sits 3 points ahead of you. This championship, genuinely, and I mean this championship is nowhere near done if you get a good finish today.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not going to push and wreck Moldy and ruin his race, but I'll push as hard as I can and try to get the best finish I can.
We're going to have, what, 13 laps to go? Lucky number 13 laps to go when we get going again. Brent Roberts is also no slouch. Everybody knows that as well. So sitting from the second position, what's that defense going to be like?
Honestly, I plan on running these tires to the end, so it's going to be a combination of trying to stay out in front of him and also trying to save a little bit of rear tire.
All right, buddy. Have fun. Put on a show. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Yes, sir.
Greensburg, Kentucky's Toby Estes going back to work. We're also going to go back to work. What is this, a 3.5 mile? Yeah, might as well be 3.5 mile racetrack. It is a very long pace lap here. I'm glad we went 1 to green. Looking at how they're weaving around the racetrack, does anybody that does iRacing, can they confirm, does that do anything for the tires whatsoever? Who knows? So Belleville will have control of the field. Toby Estes in the second position. Brent Roberts in third. And I did have one eye on the Red Wings score earlier, and I completely forgot what that was. Awesome. Red Wings are losing to the Islanders 1-0. Let's go Wings. Come on. 17:57 to go in the third. And then we got college football on tonight too, right? Doesn't it just kick off right now? I think, is it Troy? Troy and Jacksonville State playing right now on ESPN. Gotta love the college football bowl season. Belleville, Estes, Roberts, 1, 2, 3. When we go racing again, this man, DeSoto, Missouri's Noah Belleville, has control of the field coming to the line. We'll see what he puts together. Trying to hold this championship together. The BMW M2 pulls off the racetrack. Noah Belleville has it all under his right foot. Green flag will come out, but Noah Belleville continues to blink. What a great jump by car 41, and we're racing again. Brent Roberts with a huge dive to the inside. And he goes around. Brent Roberts goes around, and so does Nick Pressey right off the restart. Toby Estes in second. Bryce Saucier in third, now chasing him through the S's. Noah Belleville with a 1.5 second lead. Colin McDonough's in fourth. Aaron Edwards up to fifth. Toby Estes with a bit of a wiggle, not the strongest start for the 8 car. Noah Belleville, as expected, peeling away with this one. Bren Roberts briefly went off the racetrack. He's now 0.8 of a second behind Nick Pressey. Toby Estes using that push to pass. Only 6 laps into this one, but that's where drivers have used theirs so far. Estes with a really wide exit out of turn number 12. Bryce Saucier back on his rear end. Nick Pressey, Bren Roberts about to swap spots. Pressey trying to cut to the inside. Bren Roberts just ahead. And Nick Pressey in tow, now back to Estes and Saucier. Estes in the 8, Saucier in the 7. That's second and third battling. The gap is now 0.6 of a second. Meanwhile, the same gap between Bren Roberts in the 84, Nick Pressey in the 94. There's your race leader. And that's what 3.5 seconds looks like. Bryce Saucier got around Toby Estes. Let's see what happened. This is on lap 7. Oh, does he just put too much heat into the car? Yeah, way too much wheel out of turn number 1, and it costs him. Meanwhile, Colin McDonough, Aaron Edwards will now do battle. Let's go on board with Edwards. Possibly. If he hasn't already sealed that pass on Colin McDonough, and he just might. And he just can't make it stick, headed into 12. Nick Pressey, Bryce Saucier, they had an incident. What happened to Nick Pressey here on lap 7? Does he go around in the hairpin? And he does indeed. Not the first time that's happened to him. Meanwhile, Toby Estes. Did he just go off the racetrack here? Oh, he's fine. Same with Colin McDonough and Aaron Edwards. Although Aaron Edwards has finally gotten the best of Colin McDonough. Let's see how he did it on lap 7. Made the most of the racetrack. Colin McDonough locks up the tires a bit. Dust flies into the air. And Aaron Edwards now about to give up the position again. Let's go on board with the 1-5. Nick Pressey goes for another skid in the hairpin. Bren Roberts has joined these two. And car 84 wants to join the battle for 4th. There goes Aaron Edwards for a spill. Colin McDonough will get around him. Nick Pressey will get around Aaron Edwards, who will relegate himself back to the 7th position. 4th goes to Brent Roberts. Colin McDonough is now in tow. Nick Pressey running in 6th. Aaron Edwards 2 seconds adrift of the Brooklyn pilot. Thankfully, though, the race car all in one piece. Meanwhile, second place is now up for grabs. Bryce Saucier, Toby Estes will do battle. On board with Toby. Toby Estes tries not to lock it up behind Bryce Saucier going through turn 12. This is second place up for grabs. Bryce right now doing a great job defending the position. Nick Pressey 1.5 seconds ahead of Aaron Edwards. The gap has been closing. And regarding push to pass, we'll see who's on it. But so far, Brent Roberts has used the vast majority. He's only down to 94 seconds of push to pass remaining. On those red tires as well. Colin McDonough's on the button. He's trying to get up to Brent Roberts. He knows that Brent Roberts has used a lot of his push to pass. Now wants to take the spot. Let's go on board with Colin. Second place up for grabs. Bryce Saucier, Toby Estes once again. Meanwhile, Nick Pressey and Aaron Edwards are going to fight about it. 6th and 7th on the line. Edwards to the inside. And Nick Pressey will lock up the tires. Aaron Edwards will skid out of turn 11. And now the draft is on once again. Pressey trying to defend with Edwards. Dive bomb him into 12. The Delta Sport machine to the inside. Huge contact. They've crashed. Pressey, Edwards, they've gotten themselves into big trouble. Caution's going to come out for the second time today. And have they already used their fast repair? Nick Pressey's not going anywhere. He's jumping right to the pits. Aaron Edwards. He's going to be able to limp back to the pits, and if he's got a fast repair, this is going to mean a huge deal for him. Well, and you hate to say it, but you kind of saw that one coming. Let's see what happened. Lap 10. Oh, Aaron Edwards just did not anticipate Pressey to be slowing down so quickly. On board with Pressey. On board with Edwards. One more time from the blimp, but if we can zoom in a little further. Yeah, that's not where any of them wanted to be. And just the closing speeds are just so immense. But if you're Aaron Edwards, if you're Nick Pressey, I'm not sure if braking that early was the best strategy, knowing he's right behind you. If you're Aaron Edwards, you certainly should have given a lot more room to Nick Pressey. But that is the way the race car in this case crumbles. Noah Belleville has control of the field. Bryce Saucier rolling in the second position. Toby Estes in third. Bren Roberts in fourth. Colin McDonough rounding out your top five. Aaron Edwards in the pits, I think getting that race car repaired as quickly as he can. Nick Pressey may just be out of this race if he cannot get that race car repaired. So we're going to give them 2 minutes to do what they got to do. Noah Belleville in the lead. Bryce Saucier in second. Check out those points, by the way, right before we go to our next break. 3 points between Noah Belleville and Bryce Saucier. Noah Belleville coming away with the pole, so that's an extra bonus point for him. So right now the live points is 4. And as they run, Noah Belleville would gain 1 more point headed into the final at Laguna Seca. And the math is real simple. It's 1 point per position. So right now Bryce Saucier is 4 points, 4 positions behind Noah Belleville. And if the race ends now, he's going to be 5 positions behind Noah Belleville. It's a tight championship. Anything can happen. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the, final 5 laps? Where are we? Yeah, we're going to have about 6, 7 to go. That's not a joke. We're generally going to have about 6 or 7 laps to go when we get going green again. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Back to our humble little IndyCar race at iRacing's Circuit of the Americas. Noah Belleville leads Bryce Saucier by 1 position. He also leads Bryce Saucier by 4 points as they run. Let's get a quick word with Bryce and see if we can find out how he's strategizing to get car 41. Bryce Saucier, Rick James in the house. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You get me?
I got you, buddy. All right. Well, you have the defending champion, you have the points leader, and the race leader right ahead of you. No BS, BS. How are you going to get him?
Hopefully these reds are what we need. Try to get them fired up the best I can. Get them warm before we go green, and thinking probably into the back straight is going to be our best shot to pass them.
Noah Belleville did not pit, as I'm sure you're well aware. The Reds, let me ask you this. Does weaving the car actually do anything for the tire temperature?
It does a little. I've gained a little bit of temperature. It does a little bit, but not as much as I would hope. They're still going to be pretty chilly when we start here, so.
All right, buddy.
Going to skate around for probably the first half of the lap.
Good luck. Have fun. Put on a show. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Alrighty.
Kentucky's Toby Estes sits behind Bryce Saucier, and he is also looking to pounce 2nd through 5th. All came down on lap 11. They pitted. They got fresh tires. Aaron Edwards, unfortunately, still repairing that race car. Noah Belleville on worn primary tires. They last longer, but they have less grip than the red alternates. Look at that push to pass. 200 seconds each for Noah Belleville and Bryce Saucier. Toby Estes with 107. Bren Roberts with 74. What does Colin McDonough have in the bag? Let's see what happens. 6 laps to go when we get the flag. Noah Belleville will be in control once again. He got a fantastic start last time around. How will Bryce Saucier defend? There goes Belleville. Green flag is out.
Green.
Fantastic climb up the hill by Noah Belleville. Bryce Saucier, Toby Estes all fall in line. There goes Bren Roberts with a skid. Colin McDonough to the 4th position. Belleville with a half-second gap to Bryce Saucier. Remember, before these cautions, Noah Belleville was easily out to 1.5, 2-second leads. Now Bryce Saucier sits behind him. He said he'd be skating for half the lap. And Saucier still within 1 second to Noah Belleville. Five to go this time by. The gap is 1.5 seconds back to Saucier. Brent Roberts now chasing down Colin McDonough. And there goes Toby Estes, looking at an amazing chance at a podium. And he bit the dust in the hairpin. Colin McDonough makes way. No, he doesn't make way. Maybe he's trying to stay out of the draft of Brent Roberts. Brent, who's proven to be a quicker driver, but again, he just doesn't have that push to pass remaining. 1.4 seconds the gap. Noah Belleville sits ahead of Bryce Saucier. Colin McDonough, 0.7 of a second ahead of Brent Roberts. Toby Estes now trying to claw the time back. Brent trying to hold that together. Bryce Saucier, 1.8 seconds behind Noah Belleville. Surely he's got temperature in the tires now, and he needs to go. Belleville on worn tires just put in the fastest lap of the race, 1:50.17. Compare that to Colin McDonough, his fastest lap, 1:56.38. More than 6 seconds adrift. Noah Belleville doing work. Although Bryce Saucier still within 1 second, maybe the Reds are now coming to life. Still a very long race to go, 4.5 laps. Colin McDonough only 0.8 of a second ahead of Bryce Saucier, and look who's clawed within 2 seconds to old Bren. Toby Estes. Now within 1.5 seconds to Brent Roberts. Colin McDonough 3/4 of a second ahead of Brent Roberts. And there's Toby Estes again. Noah Belleville 1 second ahead of Bryce Saucier with 4 laps to go. Belleville with a blink. And it's not going to plague him today. Although that time around, Bryce Saucier was 0.8 of a second quicker than Noah Belleville. Is there life still for Bryce? 0.7 the gap. Belleville, again, he has not pitted since lap 4. He's going to take those tires to the end. Bryce Saucier in the second position, recently pitted on lap 11. He's got fresh tires. He's got softer tires with more grip. Brent Roberts now chasing down Colin McDonough 1/4 of a second with Toby Estes looming in the distance. The Kentucky pilot has come to play. Colin McDonough in third, trying to hold off Brent Roberts in the hairpin. Roberts to the inside. And he will make it stick. Now Colin McDonough trying to get third back and take... Ooh, Toby Estes trying to take fourth away from Colin. Bren still holding on to third. Goes for a skid. Colin McDonough to the inside. And Toby Estes right on their tails. Third place on the line. Great run for Brent Roberts, Colin McDonough, and Toby Estes, but now they still have to make it stick. 3 laps to go. Noah Belleville, 0.9 of a second ahead of Bryce Saucier. Toby Estes trying to go wide, climbing up the hill. Brent holds on to third. Colin will hold on to fourth. And Toby in the chrome car in fifth. Brent just an expert through the S's. You can see already Brent Roberts 1 second ahead and Colin McDonough losing fourth to Toby Estes. And now Toby Estes, he's on the hunt. Look at the push to pass remaining. Toby Estes, he's only got 25 seconds remaining. And he's still on the button. He wants that third place. There he goes to the inside. Cuts to the inside of Brent Roberts, and it won't be the same Edwards and Pressey story. Toby Estes to third, and he now has to defend. Takes a wide entrance into 13. Brent Roberts still trying to stay on Toby's outside. 2 to go this time by. Third place belongs now to Toby Estes after this lap 13 error saw him throw it away. And on lap 10, Aaron Edwards and Nick Pressey came together. On lap 8, Aaron Edwards had a spin. Toby Estes on lap 7, going up the hill. A whole calamity of cars just getting together. This brought out our... No, this wasn't our first caution. Where was our first caution? Nick Pressey spun here in the hairpin. Here it is. Aaron Edwards had a piece of that as well. Aaron Edwards says, let's just roll through all my lowlights while you're at it. Gladly. Gladly, Aaron. Aaron's going to finish in the 6th position. Toby Estes trying to hold on to 3rd with Brent Roberts right behind him. Meanwhile, wow, that was close. Meanwhile, still the gap is just 1 second, but Noah Belleville has work to do. The championship is not guaranteed. It won't be guaranteed today, and it certainly isn't going to be guaranteed until the checkered flag flies next Monday night. Laguna Seca hosts the WinterIndy Final. Bryce Saucier will be trying to take the crown away from Noah Belleville after Bryce won the first 2 races of the season. Noah Belleville won the second 2 races of the season, and Belleville aims to get his 2nd consecutive WinterIndy Championship. 1 more lap. If Belleville can hold it together, he'll have 1 hand on that trophy. Meanwhile, Brent Roberts trying to sneak to the inside of Toby Estes, this for 3rd. Talk about a great resurgence for Toby Estes as well. We mentioned it before. He's taken a great shine to these Indy cars, but he really, really has. Holding off guys like Brent Roberts so far for 3rd. Oh, Brent's right on the attack as they climb the hill for turn 10. Toby still has the position. Brent Roberts on the button. Toby Estes also on that button. They're going to exhaust the rest of their push to pass. Estes playing the best defense that he can. Brent Roberts, this is his best chance to take 3rd away from Toby. Surely he dives to the left-hand side. Does he have the room? No is the answer, but it's not over yet. Brent Roberts trying 1 more move on Toby Estes. He won't get there. Brent's got 1 more shot. Noah Belleville going through the final couple of corners with the 2-second gap. Back to Bryce Saucier. It will be Belleville with his 3rd win of the season, and he's got a great advantage into next week's final. Out of the final corner, Brent Roberts gives it a shake. He goes really wide, dives into Toby Estes. And Brent Roberts just gets Toby Estes. What a move. I'm choking over here because that was an unbelievable move. Brent Roberts. What a pass to get 3rd from Toby Estes. Check this out. Check this out. And this started further back than this. There we go. We'll go to the sky here. There's Brent Roberts just chasing down Toby in the 8. This is going to go through that carousel section. Brent had the position right there. You saw he shook the car. He just gave it a little too much power. Toby goes extremely wide out of the final corner. And Brent Roberts just gets around Estes to get 3rd place. 1 more look because that's just awesome. Sends it in beautifully. And a controlled exit. Nothing Toby could do. That is 3rd place. We're going to collect our top 3. Noah Belleville, Bryce Saucier, Brent Roberts. We'll be back in a moment. on the podium with two of our top three, Bryce Saucier and Bren Roberts. So I guess we'll just talk to you together. Boys, it sounded like you guys had fun out there. Bren, what a pass, by the way, for third. Did you have that move drawn up? Because in the second to last corner, we saw that you gave it almost a little too much power, but you really held it together.
No, there was no plan. I was struggling out there. There's a lot of components now with push to pass and hybrid and all that. So it's almost distracting, kind of. You kind of miss a couple corners trying to figure out what all's going on, what buttons you have to press. So that's kind of what was going on there. But I had a lot of fun battling Toby and Colin and everybody else that I was around the whole race. But no, there was no plan there.
Awesome pass. Bryce, second place. You were just telling me it's over. It's definitely not over. It's not over by a long shot, especially considering how much Noah Belleville was blinking out there. I mean, we know he's got some legendarily unreliable internet sometimes, so definitely not over going into next week's final at Laguna Seca. How are your chances to win? To put it to you this way, coming into this race, you're both equal on wins, and you can equal him next week on wins at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, I'm not very good here, so I was pretty surprised to finish where I did, to be honest. But we'll go to Laguna Seca, try harder. The track is a little bit better to me, so hopefully do one spot better. But just couldn't get through Dirty Air to get to him. It's too much in the S's, and then too much corner, not enough straightaway, running back down.
Well, we got plenty of time to see what happens. We'll see you in a week's time. Congratulations on third and second, respectively, to Bren and Bryce. Thanks for coming out, boys. We'll see you for next week's final. Fans at home, that wraps up what I think is going to be the second to last race for 2025. Christmas is what? Next Wednesday? No, next. Boys, when is Christmas? Next Thursday? Thursday the 25th. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So no, it will be. It absolutely will be the last race of 2025. So join us for that. Yeah, it's short, sweet, to the point. Another race in the books until that next race, until the final and the last race of 2025. Everybody stay safe, take care of each other. We'll see you all around the corner.